Well, I told you this is a big game, and that's a very good team, a very well-coached team. The hell with starts. Don't ever tell me about starts. Don't ever tell me about middles. There's only one thing that matters in this game. Do you finish the job, period? Because we've been down 25 to 11. We've been up 15 to 0. Um, I felt better about the start. It's better sitting there watching when the ball goes through the hole, but um, we still have our stretches, and I thought that second half stretch was disgusting. But I thought most of the game we played damn good. Our defense was so good until we got a little tired and got back cut a couple times. Um, I thought we did a good job on most of their best players. To be honest, he's a load. He got his 17, but he had to earn them. And I thought Hauser played well, and Tyson Walker. I got those two fouls, and that really hurt us. And no, I wasn't going to put him back in because he was guarding the best player. And if I put him on one of the other guys, that's all they did is back him in, back him in, back him in. So we were stuck on that. And yet AJ's free throws were big, but I think his 10 rebounds were bigger than his free throws. But when AJ has games where he has 8 assists and 2 turnovers, we seem better than when he has, 15 points. And that's what we're trying to get through to him. Jaden played really well early and then struggled a little bit second half, but he made a big 3 late. Marty and Jackson did actually a hell of a job on those ball screens up there and deserve a lot of credit. So big win for us. And, it's been a grind. I think you would all agree, and I'll tell you this now. These are the things I talk about. We practiced yesterday. Malik practiced for a few minutes and then twisted his foot and did not practice. So the offense, he seems out of sync because he's never able to practice yet. And yet he's healthy. It's just, it happens. It's happened 3 times now. If we get him healthy, I still think this team is good enough to make some runs. I really do. You saw we could shoot it better. Just a couple of stretches. We're going to have to really look at the film and try to convince our guys that those stretches were a couple of bad shots, a couple of quick shots that led to breakaways. That one stretch, they got 3 3-point plays, I think, didn't they? 2 or 3 the old-fashioned way. But we hold the team to 39%, 13 from the 3. We shoot 44 and 45. Rebounds are about the same. We only have 10 turnovers. You'd hope to win by a little bit more, but I think that tells you how good a team they are. And they are a good team, and they're very well coached. So I'll take questions.
You mentioned about AJ. The last rebound, but also the play and the headiness to throw the ball kind of high and down court, or was it blind
Yeah,
luck?
we were stuck there. We got the rebound. We fouled him on purpose because he's a 40%. And only this year he makes one, and it looks like he might make both of them. But we got the rebound back, and we were out of timeouts, and that was the problem. And he almost got caught, and that was very heady play to throw it. But the rebounds, the 10 rebounds he had were a big part. Now, those 2 free throws weren't bad either, especially for a guy that, first 2 years here barely made 1 out of 2. And they were both perfect swishes, so I was pleased with that. I thought Walker had a stretch there when we really needed him. That reverse layup looked easy. That was not easy. That shot when he was stuck at his size, and he somehow got it off. And but AJ played more like a point guard to play. He got guys' shots, and Hauser hit him. And you say, well, he hit the shots. He hit the shots because they were great passes.
Tom, can you remember a bigger win against a hotter team when your team had 2 offensive rebounds?
Yeah, we were disappointed in that, too, at halftime. Now, they didn't have a ton either. They had 5. But against a hot team that's playing really well, you're right. It was a 1-point game at Purdue, and they won 4 in a row, and beat some pretty good teams. So, listen, I was, I thought this could be a turning point of the season game. I think I told you that. It's hard to say that. There's still, 6 games left? How many? 7 games left. So there's a lot of basketball left, but we had to start making a move somewhere, and this put us in a position to feel a little better about ourselves now. We actually get an extra day of practice. Hopefully we can get Malik. Feel so sorry for him. He's such a good summer, and it's just been a grind for him, but he's hanging in there. He's fighting through it.
Tom had mentioned a little bit about closing games, and you get down 4, whatever it is there, and everything's kind of going the wrong direction. What does it say about these guys that they're able to find a way to turn around? I mean, Tyson played big,
Yeah.
but just that they're able to kind of pull that.
Well, that's what we talked about in the huddle, It's time, guys. I mean, we've had a couple games now where we've led for 30 minutes. Gonzaga, 30 minutes. Illinois, we led for a lot of that game. So when you do that, led for a lot of the Purdue game here, and then you find a way to lose. And most of the find a way to lose was we were playing without some people then. Fatigue was a factor, all those things. But there was a different look in their eye in this game. I mean, they knew, we told them they had to play desperate. So if you don't like pressure, don't show up tomorrow. That's what we said the day before. You don't like to do that very often. Comes a point in time, that's what you do. And so I think it says a lot about those guys. Staff did a good job, assistants, and we ran some good things. We tried to get Tyson the ball, and I would like to say this because they get no credit. Marty and Jackson Kohler really did a good job. Now, we played small a little bit, but Marty and Jackson did a great job on those ball screens up there because they flip them, we call it, and very difficult, especially to cover young. And I thought those 2 guys were dynamite.
How much did Walker picking up his third, and then a few minutes later Hauser picking up his third? How much did that factor into the run that Maryland had in the second?
A lot, a lot. I mean, we had some different lineups in there, and for a team that presses, I thought we did a great job against that. We changed our press break offense a little bit. I thought we did a very good job on that. I'm not sure we turned it over on the press itself. Maybe once. But listen, guys, we're not good enough to play with some of our best. I mean, our 2 leading scorers were on the bench, you're right. And then we had AJ on the bench for a while. And, we're just not that good. Although I don't know who is anymore. I mean, they're playing 7 guys too,
You mentioned about Marty. When he got that foul on Reese, the 4th foul on Reese, that seemed like that was maybe the biggest swing in the game. Jaden comes down, hits 3, then Tyson hits a 3 after that. I mean, is that sequence of getting Reese out of the game, did that help you guys any at all, or what was he doing?
I would say yes. The problem is the Emlyn kid came in and I thought played his tail off. He gets 6 rebounds and he was more active. So I don't know. I mean, I don't exactly remember what the score was or when he went out, but I thought Marty did a lot of good things, and for a guy that had 1 basket and 2 free throws and 5 rebounds, he did his job. He was a significant reason why we won the game.
So you're up by 2, 23 seconds left, and AJ puts the ball in his hands for the free throws there. Is that something he asked for in that moment?
I don't know if he asked for it. We were just trying to get the ball in, but put it this way, a year ago, if I had him in the game, he would have taken it out. And that's the difference. Now, he's a guy I want to have the ball, and he's earned that. And that's what people don't understand. You earn the right. It's not given to you. You earn it by shooting a bazillion free throws, which he has. So there's a lot of life lessons to be learned in this screwed up world we're in right now. And then you think about sports or situations like that. So why is AJ, why do I want him to have the ball? Because every night before a game, we shoot free throws for 15 minutes. The kids got to shoot about 100 of them. We chart every single one every single time before a game. I don't think he's been below 90 one time. So I said, yeah, AJ, go get the ball. You know, last year, okay, AJ, stay the hell away from the ball.
Tom, Joey's continued to make big shots for you guys, and he started off hot and then ended, made a couple big shots. How much different is that Joey versus what maybe Joey would have been last year?
Well, I think the best part about Joey now is he misses a couple shots and it doesn't even faze him. I went back and I looked, as you do when you have a couple days before a game. For us, I must have studied more film and watched more late-night film of every loss. And then I went and looked at the box scores. And you know what the biggest thing I came up with in a stretch on Joey and Tyson and why maybe they've struggled a little bit more lately is I think they averaged during that 6 games in those 16 days, I think they averaged about 37 minutes a game. And people can say, well, other people can do that. Well, that's a lot for him. And I think we wore him out. I think he's a little fresher now again. Tyson had to sit next to me, so he was ready to go to the second half. And but Joey Hauser, he didn't rebound very well. Get on him about that, but he looks more comfortable. He wants to, the best part about Joey Hauser is he misses a shot now. Last year he wouldn't have taken one. This year he's ready to lock and load right away again. And I thought that was, and I thought AJ did a good job getting him the ball too. So, those are good things getting into late in February.
Yeah, Tom, Tyson had 15 shots when he played 27 minutes. How important is his offensive initiative when he's going to basket, trying to make things happen?
I'll tell you what, Tyson Walker gets better every day. He really does. I mean, there's a kid that, since he came here, and struggled the first half of the year because he didn't know the system, didn't know the arenas, didn't know anything, and I give him a lot of credit, man. We are now putting him on the best player because what happens is we want to play AJ there, but because we've had some of these big guards that are like Pickett and like the kids today, we couldn't put we just couldn't put Tyson on those guys, and so he's done a hell of a job, man. He's guarding, he's rebounding, he's getting mad at me because I told him it was a dumb foul. I really like those things. I like those kind of arguments. And then at the end of the game, I said, now you see why I was mad at you for the first foul. The first foul was the dumbest foul in captivity. I mean, I hate to say it, even the official got it right. That's how easy that foul was. And he didn't like that, and I had to remind him after that because I think you're so good, I need you in the game. So take it. And that's kind of the way the conversation went.
Tom, another question on Tyson. He's been one to admit that he hasn't played well the last couple games, particularly since he was obviously sick in Indiana. It seems like he's struggled to figure it out. Do you think he figured it out tonight? And, what was different tonight as opposed to the past 5 or 6 games for him?
Well, I think we had the 4 or 5 days. I mean, I'm telling you that these guys have been through hell with what they've gone through. And you go to a practice and if Malik isn't practicing or somebody else isn't practicing, then Tyson got sick, and I mean, he wears himself down now. That kid, he's not 6'6", 200 pounds, but he's a tough SOB, and I tell you, it's really easy to go to him because he can get a shot for himself, he can get a shot for somebody else, and he's good enough to use those ball screens and get into the paint, and if he gets fouled, which I'd like to see him do a little more, he can make free throws.
Tom, these last couple of weeks have been some of your hardest games. You go 2-5, but how did you see them kind of weather that? And it seemed like they stayed ready and knew what they were.
Well, the hardest part was weathering the people. I mean, I think some of them, Marty, and there was a couple of them. Listen, guys, we weren't going to probably win some of those games if we were healthy. I mean, those are good teams. You play Illinois on the road, you play Indiana on the road. I mean, it's not like other years where there's so many and then you play in the schedule we played and the time, and then trying to get Malik back. It's been hard on them. So, and I just kept grinding him. I told him I'm going to coach him hard today because it's desperate. I like desperate. I really do. I think I think guys learn something when their backs are against the wall, and I give them credit that they did fight through when they were 4 down, and I thought AJ was really tired because they pressed him the whole night, and he got back cut a couple times there late, but I thought he did a hell of a job too. I mean, he fought it, he battled it, and big win. Thanks.